to Stats Today. If you missed our last episode, we learned about geometric distributions. But today, we have something new. A student, Kyla from Jesuit High School. Kyla, please tell us why you're here.
I just don't understand hypothesis testing.
Well, that's great, because Stats Today is here for kids that don't understand. So we're going to learn about hypothesis testing today. So what's the big idea with hypothesis testing? Well, let's get down to the basics. Hypothesis testing is a test that determines the relationships between two sets of data. What's the big idea? The big idea is there are 5 steps to conducting a hypothesis test. Step 1, state the hypothesis.
Oh, I remember this. Step 2 is state the critical values.
Oh no, step 3 is find the test statistics.
Step 4, make a decision. Step 5, summarize.
Now that we know the 5 steps to conducting a hypothesis test, I think we here at Stats Today can show Kyla a real-life example of conducting a hypothesis test.
I'm out here with James and Kevin, and I was wondering if we can conduct a hypothesis test to see if their age has any relation with how many shots they can make.
We're going to conduct 10 trials of 5 shots and see how many each of them makes. That will be our data. Conduct 9 more trials for Kevin, but we don't have to show those. It might get a little lengthy. Now we're going to see James give it a go, who is 6 years older than Kevin. Let's see if there's a relationship between these two. Our pupil, Kyla, to go try to do the test on her own. Let's see how she did.
First, I wrote down the data from Kevin's shots and James's shots. We decided that this was a 2-sample t-test because there are 2 samples and each sample size is less than 100. Step 1, state the hypothesis. As you can see, the null hypothesis is mean 1 is equal to mean 2. And the alternative hypothesis is mean 1 does not equal mean 2.
By the way, null hypothesis means the hypothesis we assume to be true.
Step 2. Find the critical value. With alpha at 0.05, we decided it was a 2-tailed inverse t test, with the degrees of freedom at 9. And that came to be plus and minus 2.26.
Step 2 involves some calculator use, so let me show you how. In order to enter the data, we put it into list 1 and list 2, as you can see here. Then we press F5 inverse t, because it's a t-test, press enter, enter in the data, because the area for the 2-tail is 0.025 and 0.975, and the degrees of freedom is 9. Then we press enter, and we get our critical value, which is negative 2.26. And if we did it for 0.975 in the area, it would be 2.26.
For step 3, I ran a 2-sample t-test on my calculator, and my test statistic was negative 0.5797.
Step 3 also involves some calculator use. For this step, we press the second F6 and go to 2-sample t-test, because there are 2 things that we are sampling, and it's a t-test. Press enter. We have data that we're entering. Press enter. List 1 and list 2 is where our data is found. Our alternative hypothesis is mu1 does not equal mu2, and it's unpooled, and we press enter, and we get our test statistic of negative 0.5797.
For step 5, summarize, we said that the data shows that James's older age makes him better at shooting hoops, so there is a relationship.
Well, that concludes today's episode of Stats Today. Kyla, what do you have to say for yourself?
I love hypothesis testing.
Our job here is done.
Snoopy. It's what they say as if they knew me. Groupies on my head like a kufi. My Kid Cudi, that's my little buddy. Call some hoes up.